everybody. Welcome to another episode of Echoes of Eternity. It's Sunday. Hopefully everyone had a nice relaxing day. And wherever you're at in the world, you chilled out. You drank your water. You ate your chips,
Eggs.
Doritos, eggs. What are you eating, Sam?
I'm eating a raw carrot.
Wow. That is a
Yep.
bunny thing to do.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm the Easter bunny, bitch.
You know what? That'd be an amazing, like, if there was a movie where like a dude had a gunfight and at the end like shot a guy and was like, I'm the Easter bunny, bitch. That'd be a great line, and I wish you luck on your
and
new
then
film.
bit a raw carrot. Which just pulled
And
out
he
his
was
pocket.
the actual Easter bunny? That'd be a great movie, yeah. Like, watch out for Peter Rabbit, he's a bastard.
Wait. Is he a hitman 364 days of the year, and then on Easter he's the Easter bunny?
Yes. That's the
concept.
secret of the Easter bunny.
This is an
It's
outrageously good concept
Yeah. And he takes one day a year off, and it's for the kids.
for the kids.
Like, yeah. And then he always, but he's like, cool.
Then he spends
'cause also-
364 days killing everyone who fucked up Easter.
Yeah. Oh,
Till
yeah.
the next Easter.
He has a list. It's like, it's a hit list. Yeah.
Yeah.
God,
This makes a lot of sense.
Don't say that. Don't make this seem better than it is. Spike, I assume you said you ate something wonderful today, so I'm gonna say you ate
Man. I'm so full still.
you ate 2 cauliflower pizzas.
He had an Easter honey ham.
No.
Damn.
Damn.
Jealous.
I got that
Jealous.
wrong.
What?
What'd you eat?
All right. I can't give everyone like crap. So, what did you have?
My mother dropped off a bunch of food that she cooked for us. She made large shell macaroni and cheese, really, really good potato salad, and chocolate cake with cream cheese frosting.
Oh.
And it was brutally good.
Oof.
Damn. A lot of head shaking going on. People are just like,
Yeah, why you
"Mm-mm,
gotta do us like
mm-mm,
that, man?
mm-mm." All right. I'm gonna make a judgment call. Pocket. Today, you had.
Go
What
ahead.
did Pocket have today? Pocket had. I'm not gonna say as far as raw carrot. I'm not gonna go as far as ham. I am gonna go. You had delivery from Chipotle.
No, I actually made chicken yellow. What?
Wait, no, I didn't hear. I
Oh,
heard
Yeah,
you
you
made
turned away from the
chicken.
mic.
Oh, did it not go through? I said I
No.
made chicken yellow curry.
Ooh.
What?
Ooh.
Dude,
Yeah.
making food is in. It's the thing to do.
It is the thing to do.
And Sam ate a carrot.
Well,
Look
I have a
Charlie
lot of-
Brown when he got a rock.
I have a lot of Easter chocolate, and I was like, do I want to eat chocolate right now? I should eat something good for my body.
Fair.
So I picked up a raw carrot.
All right. Well, everyone's doing good things for themselves today. I had a hot pocket, one hot pocket. So I'm feeling
That's
really good
all?
about my life. I've been literally bless everyone who has family and, does awesome things on days like Easter. I have been working all day like a crazy person. So, yeah,
What
this
flavor
is
of Hot Pocket?
it was just like a pepperoni hot pocket, just a normal hot pocket. Like I'm a basic bitch hot pocket eater. I don't want your
Pepperoni's
hot pockets that got like weird stuff in it. Just give me that the hot pocket.
I mean, I wouldn't mind a pineapple pizza Hot Pocket, is all I'm saying.
I hope your character gets vaporized today. I hope a tragic accident befalls your character and he ends up in a pit of lava. Oh my goodness. All right, well, speaking of which, let's jump into the Star Wars. Let's rap about the wars, my dudes. Okay. Last time y'all found yourself on a fun little planet dealing with a lot of BS, chasing around a ghost or something through the streets of
Yeah.
a destroyed world. I am going to, because I'm a terrible fool, log into Roll20 because I did not, like an idiot.
You're not a
And,
fool to log into Roll20. You're a fool to have not logged in.
To have not. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you for getting my wording right. It's been this way all day. I've been
Well, that's because you only ate one Hot Pocket. That's not enough to subsist.
Look, I agree.
Here's what I don't understand, Jesse. When I make a hot pocket, I make
You
at
make
least,
two Hot Pockets.
at least 2 at once.
Here's the thing. Normally,
happen?
in a perfect world, so would I. Except I ran out of time. I had to go jump on a podcast, and I was like, I have 6 minutes. All right. So I made one. It took 2 minutes, but 2 minutes wasn't enough. So I put it in for another minute. When I pulled it out, it was now scalding hot. The outside was like, it was a mess. So then I had to like, for a good minute, and then I had to cram it into my mouth, and I was like, all right, I just got to go. So then it's been a rough day. Is what I'm
Imagine
saying.
if you'd have put 2 in at once for 3 minutes, they wouldn't have been too hot. They would have shared the heat, and then you would have had.
Every time I put in,
That's pro
two-
hot Pocket strats.
if I put in 2 at once, they never come out hot, and then I have to put them in for another 2 minutes, and then that 2 minutes they come out and like they're kind of like too burnt. I have to do one at a time. That's how I roll in this world. Look, I get it. I know I've made mistakes today. You don't need to tell me that I've made mistakes.
You made mistakes.
I'm living this life. I could be doing a lot of things. I could have this week. I had plans. I was like, oh, you know what? What if I I don't know. My parents, they really want to do Easter, but like I don't want to get them sick. Like, what if I'm sick? Like, the whole thing. And I thought, all right, maybe, just maybe, we can make this work. And then Friday, it started raining here in my apartment. The upstairs started flooding.
Oh my gosh.
Because LA. And so thankfully my apartment complex is amazing, but they straight up were like, all right, we'll send people right away. So they sent, I don't know, 6 construction workers to my apartment. And I was like, well, not going anywhere this weekend.
Yeah.
So I can't go anywhere for another 14 days. Very excited. Super thrilled. Yeah. So Hot Pockets it is. Hot Pockets and sadness. All right. Let's jump into this. If you'd be so kind to roll Destiny for me so we can get this started. I'm going to clear it. Don't do it yet because I'm a dummy and I didn't clear the Destiny. Let me go here and go here and go clear pool. All right, hit me with them beautiful Destiny die, please. Oh.
Ooh, I'm paying off my dark side. That's good.
Oh. Well, this is happening. All right, 2 and 3.
No.
Isn't that like the reverse of last week?
Yeah.
Almost, yeah.
Last week we had 6 light side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Crushed it.
So that's good news for me. That should be super fun. All right. Let's do this thing, shall we? As always, the title screen appears and it says, in a galaxy far, far away. Having landed on the Gotal moon ANTAR IV, ULAGO and PR-3 search for parts to repair the damaged hyperdrive motivator on their newly acquired ship. What they find, however, is a planet of the dead, mass graves and empty cities. In the deafening silence, however, DAEYO, FANG, and KANALI find a strange figure in white who leads them on a chase through the city. Their chase leads them to an abandoned foundry on the east riverbank of the capital, and to an old Gotal, perhaps the last person left alive on the planet. If you recall at the end of the last episode, you found a old man up inside the top of a foundry that had no roof anymore, and tarps were sort of covering everything, and there was a fire burning from the exhaust of the foundry itself, and clearly at some point many people had lived here. And as you explored this area, from behind you, an old Gotal, one of the furry horned guys in white appeared and was standing at the doorway. I'll give you the opportunity. You turn to see him standing at the doorway. Do you do anything immediately?
No.
I think we would like freeze to not scare him off again.
Against my better judgment, I don't spray him with the flamethrower.
Right. Unlike the rest of this building that you tried to burn down. Yeah,
Well.
of course. Okay, sure. He slowly walks through the doorway of the stairs and begins to look at you and sort of quizzically look at how there are four completely different people, completely different species, one of them a droid, in his hovel now. And he just sort of cracks a smile and says, "Welcome. It's not much, but it's my home."
It's lovely. I'm Oda. Who are you?
Hello, I'm Glau'kaarn, but you can just call me Khan.
Khan, very nice to meet you. I'm sorry if we startled you by following you. Did we?
Follow me. I haven't seen any of anyone.
Are you the only person here?
Sadly, yes, the last one, I think.
What happened here?
Well, I'm sure if you've been through the city, you've seen tragedy.
Why are
Enough
you still here?
social time. We have a broken hyperdrive. We need replacement parts for.
I'm afraid I'm just an old man. I don't know anything about hyperdrives.
Then we have no more time to be here.
Well, we certainly want to help if we can. Do you need any help?
You would help. You would help old me, old Khan.
Of course, you must be so
told me.
lonely.
Jesse, I've heard this old man voice for a decade from you. Every time you laugh.
I don't know what you mean.
I live 1,000 lives.
You'd help old Khan out?
Well, certainly. You must be so lonely, and I can't imagine living alone on a planet.
That's awfully nice of you. Perhaps if you help me, I could be of some service. I'm not sure how, but it is possible.
I do not think our hyperdrive runs off of crippling loneliness.
I
Oda
guess
just
that's
gives
true.
PR-3 a look like
We could
a
at least
flat
give him a
mouth emoji
ride
look.
somewhere.
What do you do?
I tend to the graves outside. I
Skills, old
collect
man. Come on.
mushrooms. Oh, I'm an old man. Years ago, I used to work in one of the office complexes. Files, paperwork, you know.
Gotcha. So whose is this? And he gestures towards the furnace.
Well, this was a factory at one point in time. I think they made beast robotic monstrosities of some sort.
Okay. Who tends to this?
Me now. But it runs itself, really. I just keep the doors open and let the fire go. It hasn't ever really stopped.
Right.
Some fires just always burn.
Well, what do you need help with then?
There's so much to get done. I'm just an old man, and I haven't seen anyone in a long time. And to have you here, I know you could be of some help.
Oda just takes his hand kindly and is like, maybe you just need some company.
Yeah, he holds your hand, and you feel his fur, although sort of a off-white color, it's definitely not soft, or it doesn't have that, oh, it's so huggable furry. It doesn't have that anymore. It feels matted and like a guy who has lived a really long, tough life.
Poor
and
guy.
it's patchy in some places. And underneath his furry hands, you can feel that he definitely is like brittle. It's
Cheese kind of
almost
pats his hand.
yeah. As you do, you notice something is a little off.
What?
I don't know. You just feel something.
Oh man, how have you survived this long? I know for a fact there's things out there in the night.
I do too. That's why I stay here.
And there's no other survivors.
Yeah,
Not
how
that
did
I'm
you?
aware of.
How did they all die, but you lived?
One at a time. Every last one. At first, there were a dozen of us here. And then less. And then less. I've watched them all die.
Can I see if he's telling the truth?
Yeah. Give me a
Perception, right?
perception check.
Oh,
Yeah, it's hard for you to read them. You for some reason you can't read them that well.
okay.
You say you stay here, you never journey out.
I definitely do journey, but not far.
What's your source of food? What's your source of water?
I get by. There's enough for me.
Can I reach out with the force and try to figure out what's not right? What's
Sure.
off?
Yeah, give me a force roll. Let's see what's part of the force you'll be using.
I clicked it, I thought.
Hold on, I might have actually screwed you. We'll see. Come on, roll 20, you can do it. All right, yo, shit.
Oh, I did it twice.
Yeah, hey, 2 light side points. You are deep in the force right now.
Sick.
Yeah, so you can what do you want to do? How do you want to use this force?
I want to. I've noticed something's off, so I want to find out the source of that feeling and kind of reach out with my feelings and understand I assume it comes from the guy. So if it's coming from the guy, to reach out with my feelings and kind of know his feelings and motivations.
Okay, so you're trying to unlock or trying to connect with him on an emotional level to figure out what he's like thinking about you, or what he's feeling. What kind of feeling you're trying to discover?
Well,
What are you looking
I guess it's like a tree, right? I'm assuming if I reach out with my feelings and I'm like, what is the source of this unease that I have, that it will lead me to the guy. And
Gotcha. So you're looking for your own unease, is what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a, what would that be? Your own unease. That would be, I think,
Perception?
I feel like it'd be perception, but I want to see if there's something
Or
else because we
survival?
roll. It's definitely not survival. We roll a lot of perception, so I want to see if there's something else that you can feel.
He's sick of perception.
Well, I just I want to change it up. But I think that's what it would be. I think it would actually be perception because you're trying to figure out what's going on with you yourself.
I clicked it, but it's thinking about
I think it's
it.
just taking a moment. Yeah, just give it one whole sec.
It takes a long time to perceive things.
It's tough.
Sometimes.
Yeah, you gotta like. Whoop, whoop. It's the force. You have to wait for the whole
Is
force
that
theme
the
to
sound
build.
of the force?
Yeah, it's also Professor X. One of the two. Come on, you can do it. Roll 20. Maybe. Live the dream. Jin, live the dream.
Should I click it again?
Try it one more time. Let's see what happens.
It didn't work again.
Maybe relog and try it again. Relog off a roll 20. I have no clue.
Okay. In the meantime,
But,
someone else can do something. I can just,
Sure. Okay, so you Yeah, it's definitely obvious that Oda, while she's holding this guy's hand, she's feeling something. Like you can see her sort of staring at him. What do the other three of you do as he just like sits there holding Oda's hands?
How are we're quite far up, right? How many stories up are we?
13th floor, but there was an elevator that was taken, so it's possible he can just take the elevator.
What
How
about the other
is, like-
floors? Anything else?
Oh.
Yes, there's a whole foundry's worth of technology and paperwork and all sorts of things down there.
Technology. What that?
Yes,
What'd that
yes. Well, I don't. Whoa, my God. Well, we got a lot of perception checks right then. Did you just log back in? Because it all came back.
I
Oh.
logged back in and rolled once, and it rolled all three of them.
Well, I'll take your last roll there and give you that.
Okay.
So, yeah, he just explains to you that, he doesn't understand what any of it is because it's not his cup of tea. He never, he was a businessman in his day. And he says to you, like, I handled all sorts of business throughout the galaxy. And then, Oda, what you feel is something that the last time you felt this was it was on your short stint at the Jedi Academy. It is what you feel is like pure force.
Oh, from him?
It's just what you feel. Like that uneasy feeling you feel inside yourself is like the feeling of like when you were in the capital, it's a very light side, heavy area. And so it's like there's like a joyous feeling. Like there's something that inside you, that uneasiness you feel is because it's a feeling that you shouldn't probably be feeling here in a place that is littered with death. It is like a pure light side, like feeling you feel when you like get to those roots of your search. That's where you start from.
Can I roll again to see if I can find the source? Like, is it all around me, or is it like coming from something?
Yeah, of course. This will be your last light side roll. Because
Okay.
you had two. I'll give you this. Sure.
I'll use them all.
Go for it.
Doesn't
Or
wanna roll.
don't.
No.
Is anybody else having trouble rolling? Is it just me?
I could do
No
a
one else
test
is
roll.
rolling right now, so we can't tell you.
I'll do a test roll here. Oh, right
Yeah,
there.
it looks like everyone else is fine. Everyone else is
It
no.
pushed.
Yeah.
It pushed mine out as soon as someone else did it.
This is insult to injury.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Yeah, so the good news is that you didn't need to roll that force roll because you got 2 force die. Instead
oh,
of I'm gonna let you have this, even though that's not really how it works. I'm gonna let you have this one, and you can go and perceive. I'm gonna let you perceive where you think this is coming from.
okay.
Yeah, so you feel like this is coming from all, like it is ever present all around you. It isn't like it's coming from him or coming from the building. It's like something is happening. Like when you started holding this guy's hand, you felt like the ever present being of the force, like the actual living force itself.
Well, I like the force.
Yeah.
And this seems good, so I'm just gonna keep holding his hand.
Sure. Yeah, it's the exact opposite of the feeling you felt when you were on the ship and you felt all those screams. And that it's the polar opposite of that. It is like the complete balance side of the force. Like it's all light side good vibes is what you feel.
Cool. I assume I've heard tales of people who are so strong with the force that it can kind of imbue their lives with longevity. So I guess I wonder if that's what's happening with this guy.
Yeah, I mean, you know for a fact that there have been many very powerful force users, and everyone at the school, even though you never met, you very much are aware that everyone talks about Master Yoda or did talk about
Right.
Master Yoda. Yeah. You feel like this a wave of it, but not like just washing over you from a direction, but like one of those showers that has the directional heads everywhere and it's just blasting you from every direction.
I'm
There is
into it.
force hitting you everywhere. Yeah. All right. What about the rest of you?
I take DAEYO and ULAGO aside.
He wants us to help him, and I think that if we put our minds together and really work as a team, we can slip out of here without him noticing.
Look, he said there's a lot of equipment down there, and I think we should at least go and have a look.
That's
DAEYO, you need to
fair.
go because you know
I
what you're looking for.
acquiesce.
PR-3, you know what you're looking for, kind of too. So I say we let Oda look after the old man, and we go do what we need to do. And we find those, piece of equipment.
But don't you find it kind of odd that he's managed to survive everything here by himself?
Something does
In my
seem off
personal
about him.
experience, I wouldn't delve any deeper. He's probably eating. Well, I don't want to go into it, but I
I
think we
think
should
he's
just.
eating the people here. Oh,
Oh, he's eating something, isn't he? And I don't
He's
see anything
gotta be.
growing. So let's go do our thing. And Oda will be on comms. She's a big girl. She can look after herself. And maybe the old man just needs
I don't feel
someone to
comfortable
carry his
leaving her
washing.
here, though.
As
With
long
this
as
guy?
he doesn't get peckish for live meat.
That's true.
Look, if we decide to stay here and stay old man, we might as well just decide to live here forever.
Well,
Okay,
why
because
don't we
unless
just
we get
take
parts
them
for this
all with
ship,
us?
we ain't going anywhere. And for all I know, it's been fucking stripped already by some bandit or other. So I'm going downstairs to look for parts.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
As you say that, he looks up to you and he's like, perhaps I can be of some assistance in helping you.
Oh?
Certainly. Well, I'm sure it will take you some time to dig for parts, and perhaps all of you could help me as well.
We're not giving you Oda. She's delicious, but you can't have her.
He like looks at you, Oda, in like a very grandfatherly way, and just sort of smiles, and then looks at the others and is kind of like, kids.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm confused. What element of us helping you helps us get back on our feet with regards to the ship? Unless you are, in fact, an engineer.
I wish I would have known how to get off this planet.
As do I.
But here I am. Let me offer you perhaps something that may help. I've been here long enough that I know that this world is in bad shape, and if you do leave, perhaps you can leave it better than when you arrived. I figure you'll be here for at least a day anyway, so perhaps preparations and planning could be done, and you could keep this old man a little happier than he was the day before.
What are you
No
talking
deal.
about?
Give us the parts.
What are you talking about?
Well,
Just cut to the chase. What do you need us to do, mate?
the days here are short and the nights long, so perhaps you could best split your efforts.
Doing what, old man?
Well, what you're probably best suited for, judging by the way you look.
You
And he
want
sorta,
us
like-
to take out the things in the night?
Yeah, there's nothing in the night this old man's afraid of. Trust
You
me
want us
on
to take
that.
out the things in the day?
I feel like you're all best suited for different things. And he looks at DAEYO and he's like, you seem like the one who'd be best to search this building, I think. Perhaps find what you're looking for. And you, and he like points to your giant ass gun. He's like, you, my young man, I feel perhaps could hunt some dinner of some sort. And you, and he points to the droid. He's like, I guess you could clean this area. So you have someplace nice?
I am not a cleaning bot.
But you are a protocol droid. It's almost the same.
No, it's
him-
not.
And he looks at you again. He's like, and judging an Imperial protocol droid. So you're used to taking orders. Okay. And he like holds Oda's hands. He's like, and you, perhaps you could help me down by the river.
All right.
How do I hunt with a disruptor rifle?
Great question. Great question, pal.
Wouldn't it just disintegrate the thing I was trying to hunt?
He doesn't know anything about it.
Okay, cool.
He just saw you with a big gun and assumes you're the badass of the group and you're gonna go hunt.
Yeah, but
I
he's
don't
not
think
wrong.
we
It's just he
split
doesn't
up.
understand the nature of the rifle.
I
Fine.
look at ULAGO and I'm like, I don't think we should split up. I don't think it's a good idea. We shouldn't split up.
I agree.
There's nothing here. We're fine.
Just
Just make
offering
sure
a
you're
way
back
to-
here before dark.
Yeah, it's daylight. It shouldn't be a problem. Yes, night here can be scary, but if I can live through it, the four of you certainly can.
Yeah, well, I'm going wherever she goes, and I point to Oda.
He looks at you, Oda, and says, if you're all right with that.
Well, I'm
I
going to
feel
find
like-
dinner.
Okay. Yeah, do you just leave? Do you just go do it?
Yeah, I just walk into the elevator and just like fist the button and just
Yeah, as it goes down, he turns to you, ULAGO, and gives you like a grin. Like a very, not like a sinister grin, not like a haha, you fool, but like you have just pleased your grandfather. Like a grin of someone who's like, good on you.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he's
Mhm.
definitely evil.
And
Takes one to
yeah,
know
he-
one, huh? Like
He's just making him sound too innocent, too fervent
He-
about it.
he looks at you, DAEYO, and he's like, you're more than welcome to come. We're just going to the river to tend to some friends.
All right.
Probably dead friends. She whispers to
Okay.
Dio.
We're not eating them though. Nope.
Why would I? Strange customs throughout the galaxy, I suppose. I feel like you could be more useful elsewhere. And he puts his hand on your shoulder, Dio.
Like I probably don't feel any sense of threat.
No, it is a feeble hand. Like it almost feels like it's barely there.
Can I do a perception check of? Well, I did one earlier, but can I do a perception check of the place? Are there any signs of like struggles or anything in here?
Sure, yeah. Give it a look. Give me a perception check of this area. I think you guys did it already when you first came in. We can do it again.
Oh
'Cause
no!
I don't remember what the hell you-
Oh, I thought it didn't work.
Yeah, it takes a minute, but as you look around, you notice that there's no aside from minor scorch damage from a flamethrower a moment ago, you notice that there's nothing unusual about there's no sign of struggle. There's no sign of any foul play. If anything, it's almost as if like no one has lived here in some time. It seems like there's dust.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't. I would kind of like just brush his hand off because I don't really like people touching me. That's weird.
Sure. Yeah,
And
you brush his hand off, and again, it's just sort of like it doesn't even put up a fight.
And then I would and just say, "Come on, if we're gonna go to the river, we should go now."
Okay. And then he looks back at you, PR3, and he's like, I hope you can find it in your heart to give your friends a nice place to rest this evening. And he takes DAEYO and Oda, and they begin to walk down the stairs. And they leave you alone upstairs, PR3. What do you do?
Oh snoop around.
Okay. Yeah. What kind of snooping are you doing?
I'm seeing if anyone has, including. I mean, he says that this is where he's been staying, right? So, I mean, I'm seeing if someone's been staying here.
Yeah. Give me a what kind of roll are you going to use for this? How are you going to do this?
I mean, it would have to be perception, wouldn't it?
Sure. Okay.
God.
Yeah, here's the thing. It looks like people have stayed there. Yes, many people probably have stayed there. You can't detect any sign to determine when the last time someone stayed there. Like, people were there. He's absolutely telling the truth. And
I don't
it does
trust
look
him.
like people lived there, but you don't know when the last time someone actually lived there was.
I'm still suspicious.
Sure. So what does that mean for you? You looked around, you couldn't really tell anything, so what do you do? At this point, ULAGO has gone outside and left.
Yeah.
DAEYO and Oda are leaving the compound too. So it's just
We
you
have-
left alone in the foundry.
Who has communication right now?
You
On
all
the
do.
system?
We all
can talk to
have
each other.
We
comlinks,
all do.
yeah.
Okay. Is there a vantage point in this place, this high up building that I could watch everyone doing what they're doing from?
You're 13 stories up. So
Yeah.
in theory, you could, but based on the fact that you're in a city with smoldering, just again, look at the image. You're in a city that's smoldering. It's wreckage. It's gonna be tough to see anything. You can try.
There's
but you're-
ash literally in the sky, like snow.
Yeah, your rolls are just gonna be really hard, but you can
I'm a
definitely
robot.
do
I got
it in
predator
theory.
vision, okay.
Yeah, in theory you can do it, but it's gonna be tough.
He also said there was a ton of research and shit somewhere in the building.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
should go
will
through
be.
paperwork then or something.
Yeah.
Any
find
of
something juicy, maybe.
log of events, information about that guy in particular who said he worked in filing.
Yeah. If that's what you want to do.
Are there records of him?
He said he worked in an office complex, but he didn't say if
office
it was this
complex,
one.
okay.
Yeah.
Did he say his name?
Yeah. His name is, oh my god, now I gotta go back up. His name is Glau'kaarn, but he didn't say what his last name was. But his name is Glau'kaarn, and he said, "Call me Karn."
And I'm looking up all these Glau'kaarns, yo.
Okay.
I want to list
Sure,
of the Karn faces.
So where are you gonna go?
Causing carnage.
You
Get
have
out.
you have 13 floors. You're on the 13th floor. The first and second floor are related to the loading dock / production line area.
Right.
And you would imagine that floors 3 through 12 are everything else. So where do you start?
Floor 3.
Sure. You,
It's probably personnel.
I assume, politely wait for the elevator since you're not going to take the stairs.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Olago, you get to the bottom first. And as the elevator opens onto the ground floor, where at one point this probably was a production line or loading dock for whatever they were producing here, you again see it completely empty. And ahead of you is the sort of darkish cloudy sky, except it's ash. But
Yeah.
and then a ways away is the river, and the river still flows through the craters of destruction, and you now have an open world to go hunt for food. What are you looking for? What are you gonna what is your strategy here?
I'm gonna be creatures will be near the river, the water source. So
Sure.
I'll probably be looking I don't want to probably outside the city. I'm probably going to be looking to move slightly outside the city, follow the river, look for something to shoot and drag back.
Yeah, so what you know about this based on what you've explored and what you got from the sensors already when you were landing is you are in the city, the capital city of Prinda, and it is split by a river.
Yep.
And on the east side, it's almost completely destroyed. That's where you're at right now. It is a wasteland. Most of the buildings are gone. And the west side, much of it's still intact, except as you get closer to the river, some things are bombed out, and that's when the ash started coming down. But if you go further west, you straight up get access to the plains. And the plains are, because it's Star Wars, and for some reason this is how Star Wars cities work, they're literally cities, and then just open fields for hundreds of miles, and then another city, and then an open field. I guess they just decided it was cool that way. And then connecting them are intercontinental roadway systems. that would be used by like anyone who isn't just flying on ships to go from city to city. If you have a
Gotcha.
speeder or whatever, you would get on these and you would go. So, and there's one leading west out of the city to who knows where.
Perfect.
But there's, if you follow that, it'll take you to this plains area, which is known as the Gosmar region.
Cool. Yeah, I just start heading towards the plains.
Sure. Yeah. As you leave the foundry, you find yourself back out in the city, and you pass by the riverbank, and you see again the multiple graves that are sort of like poorly maintained, but clearly someone's been looking after them on some level.
Yeah.
And you walk down along the riverbank. Are you going to continue on the river and go out the riverway, or are you just going to go back to the the west side and then head west down the streets towards the highway?
I'll probably like follow the river until I see like a shallow area to cross, or a means of crossing it, and then cross that way.
Alright.
Mainly because I'm pretty sure Oda and the old man were heading in a similar direction, and he wants to kind of like do his own thing.
Okay. Yeah. You begin to walk down towards the river, and as you do so, DAEYO, Oda, you eventually get to the bottom of the steps, and the old man sort of leads you past the elevator, past the foundry docking area, and down towards the river. And off to your side, you notice it's very easy because he's one of the only things moving. You notice ULAGO is maybe 400 or 500 yards ahead of you onto your right. But the old man takes you, DAEYO and Oda, down to the river, and he points to the graves that are there, and he says, "I was hoping maybe you could help me."
Yes. What exactly do you need us to do?
Die.
Pushes you into 2 open graves.
Oh my god, I thought Jesse actually said that, and my heart.
I need you to die.
I was like, no.
He points to the graves. He's like, "These were friends and family, and they're in disrepair. I'm far too old to take care of them, and I was hoping you could, honor them, maybe."
Oda like pats him lovingly on the hand again, and she's like, "I know how important it is to take care of the dead." And she nods and just gets to work.
Yeah, again, when you pat him on the hand, you feel like this joy, like an overwhelming sense of joy.
She goes to work with that joy and a smile on her face, knowing she's doing something good for the world.
Yeah, DAEYO, you see Oda just with a whistle on her mouth. Is that a right phrase? A whistle in her breath. I don't know what that is, but a song in her heart. This is what I think I'm going for. A song in her heart as she begins to, rearrange the rocks and put them in sort of a more beautiful pattern, or pick weeds. Or, how are you taking care of this, Oda? What is your I'm taking care of these graves vibe?
Exactly what you were saying, where she's kind of tidying up, and then also trying to add like an artistic honor, kind of like a shrine element to it, like stacking some rocks, or like placing, like if a plant is growing over here, I guess no plants are growing, but like if something beautiful is over here, putting it at like the head of the grave or something.
Yeah.
Can I roll
Oda,
like a some sort of creativity or artistic roll to see how well I do?
absolutely. Yes.
Flourish.
Yes, we can do this. I will say that you could either you could roll a let's see, you could do a coordination if you wanted to. You could do a uh,
Coordination sounds good.
yeah, all right. Uh-oh, hold
Wait.
on.
Oops, I still have my force die.
Yeah. Do it again. Give me one more shot. Without the force die.
do you
Try it
roll
without the
off
force
force?
die. Sorry.
Oh, I thought you took it off. Sorry, my bad. One more time. One more.
Yeah. I got you.
There we go.
Wow.
Nice.
All right. Well, third time's a charm. Yeah. So you are you're very, very detailed. You're critically detailed in your coordination here. How are you doing this? Like, give me a descriptor of how coordinated and beautiful this looks, because like, are you tapping into the force to like really nail this?
Well, taking 2 strain informs how I would roleplay this, because sometimes this happens to me when I'm like, I've got this project and then there's a creative goal and then it like needs to be perfect and I'm in this like creative fugue and I like can't, I'm like, I've got that momentum and I can't stop. So she's like 100% focused and almost stressed out with like how much she's trying to do and make it perfect. And she
Sure.
won't stop or be distracted till she's done. So she's trying to like outline each grave, make each one a little bit individual so it honors each person individually, make sure everyone is just as pretty as the others, you know.
Mm-hmm. DAEYO, what are you doing while this is happening? While Oda is like in the craft corner, what
Yeah.
are you doing? Besides
Oh.
being muted.
Besides being muted.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna bury him. How many bodies are here? He's made it seem like there were like a dozen.
There are, in fact, 1 dozen.
1 dozen.
Yes.
Do
Many
we
good
wanna,
friends. Some family.
Do we want to like cloth over them or bury them in some way?
I mean, they're already buried.
Oh, okay. I thought we could see that. I thought we could see them, Jesse.
No, these are not the people that were in the mass grave. That mass grave is like
Oh.
thousands of people. That's on the other side of the
Oh.
city. That is
This is like the
many
special
people.
cemetery, right?
Yeah, this is the place when you walked by the foundry at the very beginning. When you walked into it, you saw a small graveyard.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah. No. This is not like, he wasn't like, I need you 2 ladies to come bury
Oh,
1,000 bodies.
I got
with me."
really
He
confused.
was
And I
not
was
like that.
"There's
No.
way. I set it on fire. No. I would think DAEYO isn't the arts and crafty person, let's be real. She's probably doing a lookout anyway because she's just paranoid.
Sure. Yeah. And he stands next to you, DAEYO, and he's like, why are you so paranoid?
It's my job
Your job is to be worried all the time.
to be aware all the time.
What are you looking for?
Anything.
Could you be more descriptive?
DAEYO like
Anything is an awful lot.
I would assume DAEYO's bigger than him. She's pretty big.
Infinitely bigger. You are like, you could crush this dude.
When he says that, she just like looks down at him like, "Are you fucking serious, dude?" And she's like, "Listen, I'm looking for any life forms, any people, any threats, anything that could happen. Is that descriptive for you? Do you wanna like, I mean, I have a sword in my hand."
I see that. It's very colorful.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I just, for someone so young, you seem to be worried about so much.
Aw.
Yeah, well, it's probably better that way anyway.
And he looks at you, DAEYO, and before he turns back to go sort of supervise Oda, he says, I'm sorry for whatever happened to you. I hope you could resolve it one day. And he like goes back over to Oda and begins to just sort of like hum a half
As
familiar
he-
song.
As he goes back, like under her breath, she says, "Me too." DAEYO does.
Ooh.
And then just turns around and keeps watch.
PR-3, you find yourself on the 3rd floor. As the elevator opens, there's sort of a hiss of air flowing into this room, and you see pages on some desks sort of flutter away. It's almost as if this room has been sealed up for quite some time. Like no one has come to the 3rd floor in a while.
Okay.
But it is, from what you can see, just ocularly, just an office space with a lot of paperwork on sort of Star Warsy style desks that aren't quite desks, but are like also desks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I discern what the purpose of this floor is?
Based on the sign, it literally just says shipping and receiving.
Okay.
But in Orabesh. Yeah.
One more floor up then.
Yeah, you press and you go to the 4th floor, and it only takes a moment, and you go back to the 4th floor. And again, this is another floor that it seems like someone hasn't been here in a long time. This floor is labeled processing, and on this floor, you see again many rows of desks. But now instead of just all desks in the back, there are actual like office spaces where probably there were important people at one point in time. They worked there.
What are they processing?
I don't know.
One floor up.
Good. All right. So then you go up to the 5th floor. And on the 5th floor, when the door opens, you see now boxes. Hundreds of boxes.
Okay. No sign?
No, there's no sign on this one.
There's hundreds of boxes.
Just hundreds of boxes.
I start looking for the Ark of the Covenant then.
Oh, yeah, you see this like kind of burnt out Nazi sign and like rats scrambling around it.
Oh my god.
It's crazy.
One floor up.
Nope. Yeah, you go up to the 6th floor, and the 6th floor is labeled factory floor level 1.
Oh, okay. How many other floors were there to look at?
You're on 6. It goes 6 through 12 is what's left.
6 through 12, and the factory floor 1, so it's gonna be 2, 3, 4, 5.
Maybe.
Probably. There's no directory of like on the elevator.
There's no direct. The buttons on the elevator have no. They just have numbers.
No wonder these people got wiped out. Okay, so go back down to the
Holy
floor
fuck.
with the office spaces again.
Okay. All right. Yes, you're going down to floor 4.
4, yeah. Okay. I start looking for a serviceable console with information.
Yeah. So you begin to walk through floor 4, and it's pretty heavily damaged. There's
Okay.
papers on desks, but there's also rubble on the floor. There's also like piles of trash and debris along the outer edge of this room, as if at some point long ago someone had come through here looking for something, but had sort of like pushed everything that was in their way off to the side. So there's like, beams and stuff that are somehow still supporting the structure of the actual overall building, but like they're at weird angles, and there is just piles of like metal and weird sort of like trinkets and gadgets and things that would have been on desks at one point in time just pushed off to the side.
This is something that happened on a show, isn't it, or something? Clone Wars.
I don't know what you mean.
Okay.
Don't know what you're talking about. And so yeah, you begin to walk through, but it is kind of difficult, tough terrain. I need you to roll an athletics check for me.
I'm not necessarily sure I'm gonna go forward yet, actually.
Okay, yeah, in front of you. So as you move past the first 2 desks, which are, they're right near
Yeah.
the elevator, they're still pretty intact, and there's some paperwork on them.
Okay.
Beyond that, it gets a little trickier. There's like stuff on the ground.
I
You
know
have to,
being-
as a droid,
yeah.
avoid it, because you don't have like,
Yeah.
I'm going to climb over this and under it.
I know I'm being indecisive, but now I'm like starting to think. I'm starting to narrow down. Maybe I should go down to shipping and receiving and like look for any parts that might be the hyperdrive part, because they would ship and receive them. And then I'll probably have to go up to the box level to find the receipt number and then see if it's printed on the box. Amazon warehouse. So yeah, I'm gonna go down to shipping and receiving.
Okay, yeah. You head back down to shipping and receiving. And again, this one opens, and it appears that no one has been in here in a long time. It is not nearly as messy as the floor above, but it also, if you were, your sensors detect that if you were a sentient of some sort, you would smell, it would smell awful. Like, not like gross, dead awful, but like stale air awful.
I look for shipping console.
Yeah, every single desk has a console on it.
Okay, so there's no like head guys, like master
There is
shipper. I
no
don't know
main
what the
office.
guy's head
Yeah,
job
no,
be to
there's
be.
no main office on this floor. All,
Okay.
like consoles and
Right,
single
okay.
desks.
Well, let me see if I can go into a console and see if there's any parts that match the description that were maybe shipped and received to this factory.
Sure, yeah. You are looking for a hyperdrive motivator, so
That's the
I guess
stuff.
that
I'm
would
highly
be
motivated.
computers. And well, first, let's see. This probably would be, yeah, it's just computers. The whole
Okay.
roll is computers.
All right.
Go for it.
Oh
Yeah. as per usual, because you're a droid, this is your thing.
what I
You sit
do.
down at one of the consoles and you begin to tap away, and it turns on. The consoles turn on. Apparently, everything here is still powered in some way,
Nice.
and you now have access to a massive list of everything that's been shipped and received. You can see a column labeled shipped, and you can see a
Mhm.
column labeled received.
Right.
Which would you like to click?
Oh,
or click?
received.
Sure. You click received,
Mhm.
and on received, you see 14,000 received parts. But all of the received part dates end roughly 7 years ago.
Okay. Is there a way to narrow down the parts to the one I'm looking for? Search of some kind?
You can try. They are listed by orbital, interplanetary, stationary, ground canopy, and received additional services.
Oh god. What was the list again? Sorry.
All right.
It's like a game
So,
show.
well,
What was the clue
the
again,
obvious
please?
the obvious choice here
Yeah.
is you want to go with interplanetary because you're looking for a hyperdrive motor.
Right. Okay.
Is the
Yeah,
obvious
interplanetary, that's true.
choice.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Interplanetary. All right.
Sure. So you click interplanetary, and you can see that under interplanetary in the warehouse currently received are 5 interplanetary boxes.
Okay.
They're labeled shipping label F71,
Mm-hmm.
F72,
Great.
F73,
Mhm.
F75, and F76.
Okay. And there's no notes on the contents of these packages whatsoever.
No notes, just that they were received and they were delivered by the Confederacy in order to create something.
How did these people keep track of anything if they didn't label what was in the packages? They're idiots. All right.
I mean, they labeled what they were for. It's interplanetary travel.
I guess so. I guess I'll go look for those boxes then.
Sure.
Does it say general location of where they're stored? Probably on that level.
They're on the warehouse level.
All right. Well, here we go.
All right. Yeah. You head back up and
My-
you go to the warehouse level, and the door opens again. And then once again, you're greeted by hundreds of boxes, like a ludicrous sum of boxes. And that's where we leave you for the moment because we go back to ULAGO.
My next adventure, I'm gonna look for a book in the library using the Dewey Decimal System.
ULAGO, you are walking by the river,
Yeah.
and as you do, you notice the almost serene post-destruction landscape. It's one where in the main city itself, nature hasn't really taken over yet, but along the river, in the craters that were spotted along this river from turbo laser fire from above and the damage of explosions, grass has started to grow over it. The holes themselves have made weird little puddles in the side of the river. It's almost beautiful as you walk through, and the further you get down this river, the more you notice that in the water you can see small, very small, but small fish, these creatures of some sort moving through the water,
Okay.
one or two at a time. And up ahead, you see a area that definitely looks like you could walk across, like you could get across the water. It is shallower than everywhere else.
Cool. Yeah. I just start wading through then.
Yeah. The water's cold, but it isn't the coldest water you've ever felt. It is definitely clear though. Like it's for being a world that is ash is falling from the sky. Along the river, there's like a little glimmer of hope almost, and that the destruction this world has faced, over time can be repaired. And
Also, that the destruction was very focused and not like everywhere.
exactly, weird.
Cool.
So you cross over this small area, and you're
Okay.
now on the western bank, and ahead of you lies the less destroyed part of the city. Is your plan to go through the city proper?
Yeah. If that's the fastest route to the plains that I can see,
Sure.
I'll just go straight through. And also, if I'm going through it like actual populated areas that aren't destroyed, maybe I'll find something else useful. So
Yeah, you begin to hike up the bank of the river and find yourself on one of the many streets Again, they're all shaped in sort of a grid pattern, so it's very easy to get around the city. You begin to walk down one of the main thoroughfares, and these tall buildings around you sort of loom over you, but it's again completely silent. There
Mm.
is nothing, not even birds.
Just the
And
sound of my own footsteps.
yes, and the ash that was falling from the sky slowly starts to dissipate as you move further away. And as you do so, you hear a noise. Like almost a little
Okay. All right.
do you do anything to
Do I hear which direction it comes from? Do you want me to roll?
Yeah, give me a perception check. Let's see if you do.
Okay. No.
No, you don't. You don't hear where it comes from, but you recognize it as the thing everyone was hearing earlier.
Okay. I keep going.
Sure. As you keep moving forward, almost ignoring it, right? Because there's nothing you can do about it. You just keep
Yeah.
trudging forward. You see up ahead something like almost a figure up ahead.
Okay. I stop and get into cover.
Okay. Yeah. The figure, you can't really make out what it is, but it's white. And it sort of like beckons you.
It gets into cover and kind of like does a little glance and sees it kind of beckoning and double takes. What the fuck? Puts his rifle over his shoulder and stands back up and just kind of like takes it in. I'm just seeing a white figure and it's just beckoning me. That's all
It
I got.
is. It is. You're so alone that it's white, and it's like you can see the hand motion of it. You know, the international like come this way
Yeah.
hand motion, but it's so far away that all you can make out is like a thin white line of a person sort
Right,
of beckoning
right.
you
Yeah.
further down the road. He's like 12 blocks down.
I'm gonna I take my gun out and just keep it at the ready.
Sure.
It might be an ambush, but quite frankly, ULAGO's probably better trained and better equipped than anything he's gonna come into contact with. So I'm just gonna head towards this thing. I also might just be a fucking mirage, and he might just be at that point because Oda talked about this thing so much. And he's like, I might be fucking seeing things.
Yeah, you continue down this road, and as you get closer to it, it like turns the corner and is out of your sight. You can speed up and try to catch it if you want, or you can just keep going the same pace.
Yeah, I'll hit that dad jog.
All right. Yeah, you begin to run down the blocks, and as they quickly pass you by, there's no people or traffic to deal with. You can just run in the middle of the street, and you're trained, so it isn't that winding. And you get to the end after a few minutes, and when you turn, there is nothing there. However, it is the same street that leads you. You can see in the distance the Intercontinental Highway.
Okay. Maybe I'll see it again, but I got a job, so let's head that way.
Yeah, as you do, you move further past these buildings that have now begun to shrink in size considerably as you get close to leaving the actual city proper. And after a little bit of time, you find yourself on the edge of the city, and you can see again the crevasse where there to be many, many dead bodies.
Yeah.
And the bridge going over it that then leads to the highway. It's rank. It stinks very badly in this area.
Yeah.
And you'd have to cross over this bridge in order to get past all these bodies.
Cool.
If that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, he kind of like, brings his elbow up to his nose and crosses the bridge.
Yeah. As you move across the bridge, you have this like unnerving sense that someone's watching you.
Okay. Just gonna do a quick 360.
Okay, yeah. Give me I want to say maybe this is a vigilance check.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Let's see if you can find something for me. Like if you can be vigilant enough to see what's around you. Yeah, wow. You give yourself a quick glance around, and you you notice that the things that are watching you are buzzards, small birds, sort of like picking at the back of these dead bodies.
Mm.
And they keep looking up at you, and then looking back down, and just picking away. And this is the first sign of life you've seen on this entire planet,
Yeah.
aside from that dude you just met.
Okay. Cool. Elijah just kind of talks to himself. Well, worst case scenario, we can have buzzard for dinner. And he keeps crossing the bridge.
Sure.
And kind of like relaxes a bit because he was tense for a moment there, but it's just buzzards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You continue down this highway. The question I have for you is, do you get off the highway or you just keep walking down the road?
I'm just gonna keep. I mean, I can see everything from this highway, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just grassland. You're just straight
Yeah.
walking into grassland right now.
Yeah, I'll keep going, and then you know, if I see like maybe like a clearing or maybe a forest area or somewhere where I think there might be wildlife, then I'll probably veer off. But
Okay.
just gonna keep walking until he sees something of value.
Yeah. Oda, DAEYO, the two of you are hanging out with this guy still, and he stands next to you, Oda, watching you put everything together, and he kneels down beside you, and you hear the crack of his back, and he sort of smiles and looks at you. He's like, "Oh, that hasn't happened in some time. Oh, I forgot
hasn't?
I'm old."
What is it like living here all by yourself?
Well, I can't say I get to talk to many people, but sometimes you have to deal with the silence.
Well, would you like to leave?
I can't, unfortunately.
Why not?
This is my home.
Well, you could have a different home.
That is true. For a time I did. But this is where I've chosen to be.
Do you... This may be a strange question, but do you know of the Force?
The Force? Of course, who doesn't know the Force?
DAEYO would definitely like turn her ear to where she'd be listening to this.
Sure.
What do you know of it?
I know that it's something many people believe in, or used to.
Oda doesn't really push anymore since she saw DAEYO start paying attention, but she's like really trying to observe why the Force feels so strong around this guy.
Yeah, and he looks at you, and he sees you immediately stop the conversation. And even though Tayo's paying attention, he says, "So, what do you think happened to the Jedi?"
Well, everyone knows the Empire exterminated them.
Yes, because they were traitors, I hear. Tried to kill the Chancellor.
Well, you can't believe everything you hear, but I guess that's what people say, isn't it?
Why would they say that?
Well, I don't know.
Seems to me the Jedi were our protectors, were they not?
Well, that's what I thought.
Do you no longer think that?
Oda looks at DAEYO like very like she's struggling to decide, and she says, I think that still.
Do you believe they made the right choices in the way they protected us?
Well, I mean, nobody makes all the right choices, do they?
That's what I keep telling myself. But it feels like they failed in a way.
No fucking shit.
Well, in which way in particular?
You're literally burying his friends. I feel like I wasn't protected.
Yeah.
I just, with all that power, they couldn't see the end coming.
Could you?
I couldn't foresee this. And he sort of looks around at his broken world.
Isn't it strange how everything you think you can count on can be gone in an instant?
Yes. Well, that's why we have to rely on each other, isn't it?
I think that if Oda's still paying attention, she would see a visible shift in DAEYO when she says
When she says the thing about everything can change.
everything can change, yeah. And when they're talking about like losing everything and whatnot.
Well, let me see exactly what about that you notice. Give me a hmm, I mean, I guess this is perception, but yeah, give me a perception check. Well, shit. Hold on, that's Oda. I need a DAEYO roll.
Oh. I thought you meant me noticing DAEYO.
Well, you can. I mean, you can definitely notice her. I'll give you. Got it. You nailed it. You
What am
definitely
I
notice that
rolling?
DAEYO notices
Deception?
you. Yeah, perception. See if like you can pick up on the like you hear this conversation, but do you like? Yeah, you totally something about Oda having this conversation. It rings to you in a special way. But Oda, you notice that DAEYO is like definitely paying attention to the conversation.
Well, and I wanted, like, if she's paying attention, I wanted her to also notice that when she starts mentioning how everything can change and all that, DAEYO, like, gets uneasy. You know when someone, like, is standing there listening, but then they kind of, like, they kind of, like,
It's like a
move
subtweet.
and- Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
What's
Sure.
wrong, DAEYO?
I look back and I'm like, well, nothing's wrong. I don't see anything out there. Like, she just completely.
And yeah, he turns back to you, Oda, and he's like, all the people nowadays are just scavengers or bandits, outlaws. Who's looking out for the galaxy?
Well, shouldn't everyone be looking out for the galaxy? Isn't that the problem?
I would think so, but so few are willing to take up the mantle.
I mean, if the Force flows through us and binds us and brings us all together, shouldn't everyone be experiencing it? Shouldn't everyone use and feel the Force?
That, my dear, is the problem. Not everyone does. And so it's those who do that must lead the way. And he sort of like stands up and begins to slowly walk back towards the building, up the road, but doesn't enter, just sort of like walks back and sort of stands further behind.
Are we done? Like, did we make this look awesome?
No, he just like peaced out. He dropped some little wisdom and was like, bye.
I've said all I can say.
Get back
Mhm.
to
NPC
work.
script is over.
You can
Okay.
ask him more questions, but he like, he's an old man bent over. He stood back up and began to walk away.
I'll leave it at that and
Sure.
keep working on the graves.
Yeah, PR-3, you find yourself in the warehouse with, again, hundreds of boxes. Where do you begin, my dude?
What were the numbers again? F5.
You were doing all the Fs but 4, because 4 is
Ah.
missing.
What's nearest the door?
You looking at the door, the boxes near you say X234.
Oh, good God! And there's no clipboard with paper on it somewhere.
There's no clipboard or paper in this room. No, in fact, yeah, no, not at all.
All right, well, let the rambling begin, I suppose.
Yeah, you see next to the door X. The further you move
And
in,
I'm paying
Y.
attention to the numbers to see what order possibly they may be going in if there's a pattern.
Yeah, it seems like the lower Orabesh, whatever the Orabesh for X is closer to the door.
Okay.
and then it makes sense that the further you go in, you're going to get to things like,
Well, I'm trying to get to the F's then.
yeah, you slowly move through this, and again, the boxes, it's almost like that Indiana Jones scene. They're like stacked up in a warehouse with dim lighting that is coming from glow panels up above, and as you move through, you slowly approach a pallet labeled F.
Okay. And the boxes are the ones that were.
There are 5 boxes.
Five boxes. All right, let's open some boxes then.
All right.
Immediately bathe them in my flamethrower. No, I don't do that.
Okay. Yeah, which box are you gonna go for? So in front of you is F7. But behind
let's go in the highest to lowest.
Okay. Yeah. You open F7 and inside the box. Well, actually, screw you. I'm gonna make you roll for this. Athletics check, please.
A what?
An athletics check.
Athletics to open
Or
boxes?
Braun, I'll let you bash these things.
DM just yelled, "Screw you."
Wow.
I'm not gonna give you this one. I'm gonna make you fight for this one.
Fine.
I want to see this droid open stuff.
He asked you to open a box and just had horrific flashbacks of all our crits and
I
all our
opened
free
the
stuff.
hell out of that box.
Yeah, I want a little payback. Yeah, so the first box you pop open easily. Inside is a bunch of, let's say, Coruscanti peanuts. And there is nothing inside the box. It's almost as if this box, whatever part was in there, was removed.
Wow. Okay. And so it felt light when I picked it up, huh?
Yeah, that's why it was so easy.
And a motivator would be a little bit heavy if you picked it up, wouldn't it?
It would. You would feel weight to it. It wouldn't just weigh like a box. You
I start
would,
picking
as a
boxes up and
droid, be
feeling
like
for weight
mapping
then.
it out.
I'm feeling for weight on these other boxes before I open the next one.
Sure. The next box you see in front of you is the exact same size as the current box. I'll just like size-wise, I'll give you a description of the boxes. The
Wait,
box.
do I know what size a motivator is?
I don't know. Would you?
I mean, we had a broken one. Maybe I would know. Roughly from that.
You would know that the part you needed to replace your hyperdrive, some of the piping, that's what DAEYO got from that ship. But what you need is like actual, like something that like the actual motivator that you can like cram in there with the part that you acquired, and that will be what helps repair this whole thing.
Right, but I have knowledge of what size that is, right?
Yeah, general knowledge.
That's how any of those boxes match that size.
They're
Or
all
larger.
big boxes. Every box.
Okay,
is
great,
big.
great. All right. Cool. So open the next one, I suppose.
Yeah.
He's gonna make you do this, but if you
Whatever.
want the
Give
part,
me another roll.
I'm in it.
Give me another roll. Yes, you pop the next box open, and inside you see piles of cords and cabling and things that look like what would be on the interior behind the main panels of a starship. Linking all systems together, but they're all wound in big spools, all piled on top of each other.
Do we need any of those? Are we gonna get a motivator and it needs an HDMI cable?
I hope to God not, because that'd be crazy. Because I don't know what you'd be watching. Yeah, it's nothing that you need.
Nothing. Okay, great. Next.
Yeah. Okay, you have 3 more boxes in front of you, and there are a few boxes behind them. You don't know what they're labeled, but you can see the 3 in front of you are labeled F. One is a much larger box, and it looks like it opens from the front, like the not the top, but like the front. And then there's one that is of equal size, but looks like it opens from the top. And there's one that is smaller that looks like it has a latch opening.
Do the top one first.
All right, the one that opens from the top. Give me a roll. No, you try to open this one from the top, and it will not budge. You cannot get it open. In fact, as you try, you sort of like the seals that have shut it sort of like warp in your hands. As you hear your motivators like, you like can't get it open.
All right. I mean, okay, as a fairly new to the tabletop role playing system, is it appropriate to try again immediately, or is it like some kind of penalty?
You can always try again.
I just like bang my roll the dice over and over again, basically.
I mean, bad things can happen.
Yeah, typically if you fail to do something, you
Yeah.
can't do it. Like period.
Counsel me, Strippin'. Should I try again?
On the same box.
Yeah.
Like I mean,
We'll never know what's in it.
Your failure is that you warped the top. So if you
Okay.
try again, it's
Definition
going to
of
be a harder
insanity.
roll.
Yeah, it's the
Oh,
definition of
okay.
insanity.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I mean, you
Try
can,
one more
you
time.
definitely can try, but all right. Well, then give me a sec, because it's harder now.
Okay.
Go for it.
Ow,
Wow.
Oh my god.
Let me just put that
Yeah, you
strain
take
on.
a great deal of strain, but you manage to pop it open, and as it pops open, you hear like a weird noise inside.
Oh god. Oh, by the way, I'm at 11 strain.
Awesome. What is your so you are totally strained?
Uh-huh.
Lovely. As so
This is the problem with just trying rolls over and over again is they get harder and then you take more strain and then you black out.
so you pop it open, and the last thing you hear before your system just shuts down is you hear sort of like a weird whirling buzzing noise
Oh god.
as if something is turning on, and then you black out. ULAGO,
Yeah.
you find yourself walking along this long stretch of highway. There are no cars, there are no people, just nature. You finally hear it, like the faint sound of some type of avian in the distance, a tweet or a chirp, and it's almost like complete and total peace. Behind you, if you were to look, is the city devastated.
Mm.
And in the distance, a few fires, the one still burning from the foundry. But other than that, the further you get away, and you're not even more than a mile out, it's almost starting to be like a beautiful place. You notice that there are no turbolaser marks or fire on the ground. It's almost like they just targeted specifically the cities.
Well, I mean, ULAGO likes this. It's just good memories for him is like out in the middle of nowhere with not a lot of people. And he kind of takes it in and he's like, this view is much better than the one behind me.
Do you have anything on you that can let you scan for
I
animals
do.
or
as it would happen, I actually have hunting goggles, which are
Whoa.
specifically
Damn.
for hunting. It gives me 1 bonus dice to any perception check made to locate prey. It removes 2 black dice imposed due to concealment, darkness, fog, or mist.
All right, yeah, give me that sweet roll.
Okay, do you want me to add the bonus?
I just did.
Okay, cool. What are we hunting? What are we looking for? Perception?
Yes. See if you can find anything out there.
All right. I'm gonna
Try
use
not
the
to
light.
roll.
I'm gonna use the light side.
Great, I'll upgrade.
Cool.
Make sure to use light side as well.
Yeah.
Click that button. Yeah. So you put on your goggles and begin to scan the environment, and you notice that out in the fields, you can see the latent tracks of some type of cat creature.
Okay. Cool.
These tracks
Kneel
head.
down and I touch the tracks.
Yeah, well, it's off. You're on the road right now, so you have to get off the road, down into the
Hell
field,
yeah.
and then just like go out there and walk.
I'm off the road. I'm getting deep.
Sure.
Found tracks.
Yeah. You jump off this highway down onto the fields, and you begin to move towards these tracks, and you can see that they're definitely old. They're old tracks, but they're new enough that rain hasn't washed them away, and so something has been here in the last X number of days. And while it's hard for normal eyes to see, you clearly can see with your goggles, sort of like almost a Witcher sense of just you can see kind of where little notes of them are and where they've headed off to.
Cool.
And
Okay.
it leads you further into the wilderness, up towards a nearby ridgeway.
All right, yeah.
As you continue on, again, you feel this sense of being watched.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you engage with it, or do you just keep going?
I'm gonna keep going
Okay.
because at this point, ULAGO just assumes that there is wildlife and things are gonna be looking at him.
Okay. Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
focused on these tracks and head towards some big game.
Give me a stealth check, please.
Alrighty.
All right. How do you want to use your advantage there?
I will use it to notice something.
Okay, sure. You notice once again up on the ridge in the distance something you wouldn't have noticed because it almost blended in with the sky itself. A white figure watching you.
Okay.
Vaporize him.
It's far and it's far away.
It's up on the ridge. It will take you a good 15-20 minutes to get up to where this person is.
How is this thing so fucking quick? I'm seeing things. I've gone crazy. It's official. Nothing moves that fast. I'm putting it out of my mind. I'm gonna keep focused on the tracks.
Sure.
I'm crazy.
Back at the riverbank, Oda, DAEYO, you're slowly finishing up the process of making these graves look as beautiful as graves in a burnt out city can look.
Listen, I'm just the parent overlooking the child do arts and crafts, okay?
And as you do, you stand up and look at your work. Describe like what do we see? What have you created as a place of rest for these people?
I think everything just looks thoughtful. Like, there's not much beauty there because there's like, I imagine all I could find was kind of like broken things and like rocks and maybe I even found like some old like tubing or something. So I just kind of like outlined each grave with something pretty. Well, not something pretty, but
Mhm.
something thoughtful. And then at the head of each grave, made some sort of like shrine, you know? So like one maybe has like I found a whole bunch of long, thin like tubing pieces and I made them into like a cone. And then another one has rocks stacked up into just like a long tower as high as I could get it. And another one has I found some tubing and I like wound it around in a pattern like a labyrinth on top of the grave. So each one has something special.
Mm-hmm. The old man smiles at you as you sort of look back and he stares upon your work and he's like, each one of them special, just like they were. So, ladies, shall we? And he like points back to the building. I'm sure your friend could use some help.
Yeah, Oda takes his arm this time, like walking arm in arm.
Yeah, again, as you take his arm, you feel this overwhelming sense of light side energy, but there's something like as you held his hand, it felt more tangible.
I lean in and I'm like, "Do you sense that?"
And he looks at you, Oda, and he gives you like a wink.
Do I know what the
my
wink
force
means?
moisturizer?
I am I the player
Yeah.
am starting to assume that this person is some sort of force manifestation that is watching over all the souls here.
Okay.
I think Oda might have similar assumptions. Does she feel like the wink confirms what she is feeling
Um
or thinking?
uh, I will let you have that this is to you it was the a confirming wink. It
Okay.
was a wink of like, "Hey, like you're doing pretty good, kid. Keep up."
Okay. Oda from now on just tries to observe and learn everything she can from this person because this is like she was pulled away from her training in the middle of trying to become a Jedi and she really cares about the Force but didn't get the training she needs to like really understand it as much as she would like to, so now she's just like super curious and invested in hanging out with this guy as long as she can.
Sure. He walks with you, like kind of like arm in arm up the ridge. DAEYO, you see Oda headed back to the foundry with this guy. What do you do?
I follow.
Okay. Yeah, the group of you head back inside, and he kind of smiles and is like, "So, do you think we'll find your friend on the top floor?"
Which one?
The naughty one.
That fucking sigh.
I mean, I have no idea, honestly.
Why do you associate with one such as him?
Oda kind of like looks a little stumped and looks at DAEYO for an answer.
Because he helped us escape and we owe him.
Ah, so underneath all those gears, gizmos, something of a soul, perhaps.
Do droids have souls?
No.
Well,
Can they?
they tell me no, but an old man could hope.
Something occurs to...
I look at Oda and I'm like, do ghosts exist?
Yes.
No, they don't have souls.
Oda,
Yes.
like, as she's thinking about droids having souls, the story of what happened to her droid just a few episodes ago recurs to her, and she gasps, "Oda, DAEYO, if they have souls, then we just killed." Oh! And she's kind of talking in nonsense, but trying to communicate what happened when DAEYO
It's
killed her
okay,
droid.
those can be repurposed later.
Yeah,
They'll
he
live another day.
he looks at you, Dio, and then looks at Oda, who's like talking about the murder of a droid, and he's like, "I know what you think, but all life, even robotic kind, is sacred in some way, yes?
Not if it's set out to kill you.
Even those who are set to kill you perhaps deserve some form of love."
No, I will not. I do not love droids. I'm sorry.
And he like, the look on his face, Dio, is not one of judgment, but one of like, who hurt you? Like a true like, if it almost like if I could help you, I would, but I don't get you kind of look. Like I want to help you. Let me help you. It's that kind of like, almost the I'm disappointed look, like a parent's like,
I put my
I'm not
hand
mad, I'm
on his
disappointed. Yeah, like
shoulder, like on his like brittle shoulder. I put my hand there. I just like gently squeeze, and I'm like, "Don't worry about it, old man." And I just walk past him.
yeah. As you squeeze, the squeeze you squeeze is like almost too squeezy, if that makes any sense.
Oh.
Like you don't hurt him,
I was
but it's
gonna say I'm
almost
not trying
like
to break him.
You broke him.
yeah, no, like the squeeze you do, like past the fur of his exterior, it's almost like underneath was like you squeezed like a balloon almost.
That's weird.
She makes a note of it, but keeps walking.
Yeah.
They, Jesse, earlier they said that they had parts down on the bottom floor, right?
I sliced through him with a vibro knife.
I pop him like a balloon. There are parts. He said there were parts in the building. On the first floor, there's no. The first floor is completely empty. It's just a loading dock that is nothing there anymore.
Okay. I
Yeah.
turn back to the old man and I say, "Where can we find parts?"
Well, I would imagine, perhaps the warehouse or the factory floor itself. There's a lot of those.
And where's that? How far away?
And he just points up. And he's like, "We could take the elevator."
Yeah, let's go there. We'll find
Yeah,
we'll find PR-3 and hopefully he made a nice sleeping area, I guess. Whatever he was doing. I don't know. What did droids do?
Yeah, he like smiles at you and he goes, "What do droids do?" And he like,
he made a sleeping area for somebody.
yeah, he he presses the 13th floor, and the elevator with the three of you goes up very very quickly to the top. And as the door opens, you can see PR3 is not there. Nothing has been fixed. Everything is exactly the way it was before.
I get on the comms and I'm like, PR3, where are you?
You hear nothing.
Damn it, PR3. Did you turn this off? I swear to God, if I find you.
He can't turn it off. That's the best bit.
Yeah.
I know, but well, I mean, I'm sure there's a way he can block it or something. But
So he is completely. You hear nothing. You don't even hear static. Like it's not disconnected. You just hear nothing.
yeah, I think DAEYO is gonna go searching for him because she figures he doesn't left the building. Why would he? But yeah, I'm
You
gonna
would
go
have
searching.
noticed there's only one way out,
Yeah.
and you were on Overwatch duty, so you saw nothing.
Okay. Well, she's just gonna start going down the floors looking for him. I don't know how long
Okay.
that's gonna take. Probably a while.
Yeah. You're just gonna take the steps and go from the top floor down.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oda, you see Dio begin to hunt for PR3. What do you do?
I want to just sit with this guy
Okay.
and just ask him to like tell me more about his life and where he came from.
Sure. Dio, you begin to head down the stairs and search the factory itself. The first floor beneath you is the top floor of the factory and is labeled foundry, and it is where all of the you can see a conveyor belt leading to a giant inferno of flames, and it appears this is probably where they scrapped parts. The conveyor belt does not work. The inferno, the like actual foundry itself is still operational, and then around you can see smashed and boxed up just parts of machines, a like smashed droid that now forms a perfect box, all sorts of different things that would probably at some point in time we're going to be put onto that conveyor belt.
I think I'd make a mental note of this floor and come back to it later. I'm
All right, yeah.
Find PR.
And
I'm gonna
you head-
prioritize finding him.
You head back down again to the next floor. Meanwhile, Oda, you and this guy are up above, and you wanted to ask him what? What are you trying to get out of him? Because the two of you are finally alone.
You said you lived somewhere else. Where was that?
I lived many places, but here was always my home.
Why did you live so many places?
It was part of my job.
What was your job?
Well, I always thought of it as clerical, but perhaps others had different opinions.
You like to speak in riddles, don't you?
Well, an old man is allowed his fun, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Just I think that maybe I have a lot to learn from you.
I think you do too. My question, my girl, why did you not learn this already?
I tried.
What happened?
Well, I had a great teacher, and then the teacher was gone. So I
he
haven't
like smiles at you and is like, I see you speaking riddles too.
She laughs and she's like, fair enough.
Well, and he like holds your hand and he's like, we were always known for speaking in riddles.
She looks around making sure nobody else is there, and she's like, you were a Jedi.
And he looks at you and he goes, you were a Jedi?
No.
Interesting. Well, I did wonder why you found yourself with such dangerous company.
They're not so dangerous. Deep
And he
down,
likes-
they're all good, I think.
Yeah, with that, he smiles. And he's like, you were Jedi, no matter what you think.
Oda looks pleased and bashful.
Way outside the city, climbing up the ridge, ULAGO, you have made it to the top and you see a series of caves. And inside, light glowing, like almost like a light bluish hue from inside
Okay.
the caves. And you hear running water.
Okay. Yeah, he like raises the goggles off his face.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like a climb?
No. It's almost like you're going down. You've made it up the ridge, and the caves are sort of going down in the other
Cool.
direction.
Yeah, I mean, definitely gonna head towards it.
Yeah. As you move closer, the sound of water is louder. Almost as if not a stream, but like sloshing puddles,
Mm,
like someone jumping in puddles, maybe.
okay. Yeah, I've slowly approached the mouth of the cave
Yeah.
from like
As you do,
the side.
yeah. As you do, you can hear some things inside.
Okay, I listened for a while.
Yeah. Will you give me a perception check to see
Yeah.
exactly if you notice what the sound is?
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Hell no.
You've never heard the sound before. But
Okay.
here's the thing. Because you've never heard it, you know it probably isn't sentient life.
Okay. I Ulago kind of smirks to himself. And he's like, "You find yourself here again, Ulago. Mouth of a cave.
Yeah.
It worked last time.
Are you just gonna
Probably
shoot
won't this time.
inside? Are you just gonna take a shot?
I'm gonna not yet. I'm gonna start moving into the cave, but
Okay.
full intent is to just the second I see some shit that isn't sentient, I'm just gonna light out.
Yeah, inside, you see the form of 3 creatures. They are sort of feline shaped, about 2-ish meters long, and you can see that they're dark. Like, I would describe them almost panther-esque if you were an earthling. They are very dark, and you can see that they're sort of playing in this water. The water, if you remember from last episode, there are pools of water on this planet in the plains area that have sort of phosphorescence in them, and at night it lights up the plains. But it's in a cave, and so as they jump around, it's lighting up this cave, causing this blue glow. And they're sort of playing in the water, and there are 3 of them, at least from what you can tell.
Okay. Would I get some sort of inkling that these are young? Like-
They are big. You don't know because you don't know the species at all. You don't know if they're young or not, but they're 3 playful 2-meter long cats.
Either you're very playful, or you're waiting for Mummy to get home. I'm gonna wager the second. And he's gonna slowly back out the cave
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and wait
Cool.
for a bigger cat.
Jeez. Yeah. How do you give me a stealth, and then we'll decide how you hide.
Okay.
Damn. Yeah. How do you hide? In what way do you? 4 green. Damn. In what way do you hide? How do you hide?
Yeah, I got some stealth. I think it would be like he would post up on the ridge a little ways away,
Mm-hmm.
and then just kind of like goggles on, be looking through the rifle scope at
Sure.
the cave mouth.
Yeah, as you do, time, like, hours go by, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you sit there and hours go by, and you can hear the cats playing just in the water, and you can hear the birds, and you hear wind like like it's almost as if you weren't on a horrific planet for a brief for like a little bit of time.
Yeah.
You are out in the wild in peace, and it's just you and
I
nature.
mean,
and
he used to hunt like this a lot.
yeah, it's
So
it,
it's
it,
like-
it you feel like in your core like this is what
A
true
little bit of
peace
therapy.
is.
A little bit of therapy.
Mhm. Yeah, you definitely feel it. We cut back to DAEYO. DAEYO, you've been walking through the different floors, and you eventually find yourself at the warehouse. You have found nothing of any interest that looks like a PR-3 at all. In the many floors you've gone through, you've seen enough machine parts and scraps, but nothing that looks like whatever was here was either taken or removed or hidden. Anything they were making, whatever it was, unless you like went to go paperwork research, you have no clue what was made here. It is all the feasible things that you could tell based on your mechanics and your knowledge. It's you don't know right now. You eventually end up at the warehouse, and you discover that way down at the end, you can make out a dark figure sort of slumped over.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. And she just walks over.
Yeah. As you do, you hear sort of a like and like it sounds like a crate, like a metal container banging up against something else that is also metal.
Would I know what this is?
I don't know. Give me a perception check. Do you know what this is?
Would it be perception or mechanics?
You could roll mechanics and try to figure out like machine part of that, but I don't think so. You're just trying to detect it. And mechanics would be like if you're trying to mess with it. Yeah, here's the thing. You don't know what it is, but like it's not like it doesn't sound like I'm an imperial robot come to kill you all. Like it doesn't sound bad, right? You can use your advantage in some way for sure. But yeah, how would you?
Can I? Well, actually, how much drain do I? Okay, can I use my advantage to? Does it remind me of anything at least? Even if I don't know what it is, does it remind me of something?
It definitely reminds you. It sounds like a droid. It sounds like droid noises.
Okay. I'm assuming PR-3 is right here too.
Mm-hmm.
Since I look down at him, I don't know what happened. I'm gonna walk towards the droid noises with my sword out.
Yeah, as you approach, a box in front of you is shaking, just like shaking on the floor.
Is this where I do a perception to see if it's hostile?
That's where you lift the lid up.
The lid's already off. The lid's already off. You can hear the noise inside of it. This
Oh
is
my
the
God.
thing that caused PR-3 to like shut down.
It's a wild Roomba.
I'm gonna try and I'm just gonna try to kick the box off or something, lift it off.
Yeah, as you go to mess with the box, do you lift like do you want to like the top of the box is already off. So if you lift it, you're lifting the whole box with whatever's inside.
Oh, okay. Then I just look in.
Yeah.
Look in.
As you look inside, you see a clear Plastex dome spinning wildly amongst all of the Coruscanti peanuts, and it's like it is. You can see in it processors and sprockets and widgets and what appears to be sort of like overclocked water cooling systems and one orange component with a primary photoreceptor and radar eye, famous for the R series of astromech droids.
I guess I would-
R2i.
I guess-
Astromech droid.
Yeah, do I know what an astromech droid is?
Of course you do. They're the most famous droids in the entire galaxy. R2D2 is literally one of them.
Oh, okay. I'd take it.
I mean, do you like knock over the box? Like, how do you get it out of there?
Can I? How big is this box?
It's big. Astromech droids, if you think of the movies, they like come up to your waist.
Yeah. Okay, so the box is like about as big as me, probably.
It's a little smaller than you, but yes, because you're very big. But yes.
I think that I would try to just like lift it to where it's upright, and I can just like pull the droid out or the pull.
Yeah. Give me an athletics check because the droid is like struggling. It's like trying to get out of the box itself.
It's like legs are tied up.
Can I talk to it?
Sure, of course. Do you
I
understand?
love the idea that PR3 saw a droid that he knew would be beloved by the group infinitely more than him, and that caused him to collapse from stress.
I think I would just be like, no, calm down, calm. I'm not here to take you apart. I wanna get you out of here. You gotta calm down though. This is gonna be really difficult.
Yeah. Its head keeps like, and then it like the little ocular focus lens looks at you and it's like,
No, whatever you just nope, I don't know what you're saying.
wow.
No, they didn't teach me that growing up. Sorry. You stay still. I'm gonna lift this up and you can get out. How's that? I do. I try to lift the box up.
Yeah. Are you gonna like slide it out? What is your plan?
Well, I wanted to. I mean, I don't think I can just lift this droid out. It's probably really heavy. So I think the best thing I'd have to do is, use your legs, not your back, and just like lift it up and push it.
Yeah. As you do, the droid falls out onto the ground and sort of slides across. And you can see that its legs are bound up, and all
Okay.
it can move is its head, and it's trying to like move its head. And as it does, the droid's like body sort of like moves and shifts, and you can see it's trying to move its little droid legs.
Okay, I'm gonna unbind it then.
Yeah, you unbind it, and as you do, will you give me a? You're gonna use your vibro blade, I assume. Yes.
I can't use my hands.
You can use your hands, it's just be harder because it's like an actual like binding, not just like
Okay, no,
rope.
I'll use my vibro blade. Hopefully, I don't cut any legs off.
Yeah, give me a roll. Give me a vibro blade roll.
Where is that melee?
You should just use your weapon. And it could just be melee if you want to. It's the same thing.
Okay, I don't think I have my weapon set up.
Yeah, then just
Okay.
melee.
Yeah, my weapon's not set up correctly.
Oh, easy. Yeah, you slice through the bindings, and as you do, its feet sort of like angle itself to push the droid upright, and it looks at you as like, it like spins around you and begins to move very, very quickly in a circle around you, and sort of stops and looks at you and like makes chirping noises in approval at what you've done. And you can see on its side is stamped R3B8.
Well, R3, can
Rebate.
you help our friend here? And I motion to PR3, who's napping.
And it looks at PR3 and looks at you and is like goes over to him and just from out of just to describe this astromech, the top is completely transparent. You can see inside all the like widgets and all the things that make astromechs run. Its body is white with sort of orange accents, and on the transparent part is one orange component that's sort of like a square where its ocular sensor is. And other than that, it's like almost pristine. It clearly hasn't been let out of this box in years. And so it's finally free, and its scomp unit sticks out of itself and then just pokes inside of PR3. And with the whirl PR3, you get -1 strain and pop to life.
Yay. There we go. All right.
Well
Waiting
then,
for
have a
this.
nice nap.
Yeah, PR3, you are now back completely awake, and there is a little astromech droid with its donger inside you. What do you do?
Oh God.
This is most distressing.
What, that you're yeah, I agree. I liked you better when you were quiet too.
Yeah, this little droid next to you, PR3, is just chirping away at you. It introduces itself as R3B8 Astromech Droid here at your service, and is so excited to be out of that box.
Oh, you guys are gonna be best friends.
You are distressingly cheerful.
Yeah, and it replies to you with, and it literally is just saying like, you can be happy too. I can't wait to hang out with you. Are we friends?
Oh my god, this is torture for you, and I
Put
love
me
it.
back under again.
How about you just get up and go back to what you're supposed to be doing, whatever that
I
was.
was looking for a replacement motivator for our hyperdrive.
The
Did you find
droid
anything?
chirps like, and just scoots down the row of F and begins to like move its head forward, pointing at one of the boxes.
I would follow it.
Distressing.
Yeah, it's a small box with a latch on it.
Try to open it. Can I
Yeah,
open it or is it locked?
No, it just has a latch. You can pop it right open.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
that. I open.
inside is a Model 3 hyperdrive motivator.
Oh,
Freshly made.
sick.
I look back at the droid and I'm like, yeah, I think you're coming with us. And I try to pull out the box.
Yeah, it's not big. It doesn't take a lot. You straight up just like grab it and you're good to go. And the droid just is so happy and makes all sorts of like whirling noises and begins to sort of like spin around PR3 and almost singing like a like a happy
As I
song.
walk past PR3, I
That
go,
was the box I was going to open next.
yeah, well, I guess he got to it first, but you know what? Seems like he likes you. Guess you got a new best friend, huh?
Goody for me.
Yeah,
let's get back
the
with
droid
other.
from the droid's chest, one of his little panels opens and a random donger comes out and it almost looks like it's asking for a high five PR.
Oh, give him a high five.
I walk away. I'm sorry. PR3 would walk away from that.
Can I
Yeah.
give him a high five with my finger?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I think I lean over because I'm like, I was just talking about how I don't care about droids, but then this one for some reason I'm just like, here you go, buddy.
Yeah, you're like, all droids are pieces of shit, and then you see this guy, and you're like, high five.
It's like that
Because
person
he's
that's
not
like, I hate
imperial,
cats, I
not
hate cats,
mean.
and then they find that cat at the animal shelter and they're like,
Yeah.
Yeah. When PR3 walks away, you hear like and then you come over and give it a high five. It's like, yeah. And it's so excited that you've done that. And it like follows you almost like a pet out, DAEYO.
oh.
I don't mind. I
my
like the
God.
company.
Sure.
Suddenly she likes
I
the
see
company.
how it
You
is.
see this
You
shit?
kill-
You see this shit?
You kill my droid, then you adopt the next one.
Don't worry, I'll
Well,
share.
The problem was that your droid was from the prequels.
Ouch. To all prequel fans out
I mean,
there.
fair.
Yeah, we all know. We all stand in the same place. He said Roger Roger too many times. He had to go. Yeah, I get it.
Did
We
you
go
guys
back
see
to
that meme that someone tweeted me that was like one of those droids with his arms around his knees going, when everything is not Roger Roger?
Yes. Oda, you're back up on the top floor, and you can hear DAEYO and PR3 sort of like trying to make their way to the elevator. They're very loud. You can hear like boops and beeps. Something is happening. They're in the shaft itself, trying to like come upstairs. In the few moments you have left with this guy, do you want to say anything to him or do anything?
I assume that we won't have much more time together. But it seems we have a lot in common. But we're also very different in that I think you've seen a lot more than I have. So, would you give me some advice? Would you teach me something?
Yeah, he leans forward and places both his hands on your hands and he says, "My first word of advice, never assume." And he stands up to go greet the group coming to the elevator.
Ooh.
Meanwhile, ULAGO, you have been camping out for some time.
Where is the sun in the sky?
Yeah, I was just about to say, night is slowly beginning to descend. And as it does, you see coming up over the ridge a giant cat. Not just a normal cat. This cat looks it's black just like the other ones, except in its mouth is a sort of rabbit-looking creature, and along the sides of its jaws are two giant tusks that sort of come down out of its cheeks. And this thing, unlike the other cats, which are 2 meters, this one is just eyeing it, maybe 3.5.
Okay.
It is huge. This thing is it's a big cat, and it is slowly making its way back to the cave.
Okay, Alago's patience is paid off because what he wanted was for this cat to bring his dinner to the cave, and now he's going to attempt to scare them away from it so that he can get it. So I think he's going to attempt to like shoot, near the cat, make some distressing noises, try and startle it, get it to drop the food. That's his goal.
Yeah, I mean,
From
give
the
me you're actively trying to miss is the idea.
Yeah, or I mean, I guess I was gonna say set to stun, but this thing doesn't have a stun setting. So
no,
yeah,
this thing vaporizes people.
Definitely looking to miss initially.
Yeah. Give me
Maybe hit like a tree next to it because it will spark up and.
Yeah, give me a roll for your weapon.
Okay. I don't know
let's...
what the stats of this weapon are, but I can roll my old. I guess I can just roll ranged heavy, right?
Yeah, ranged heavy's fine.
Cool. Okay.
Because you're not actively in combat. You're not trying to kill a person or. Holy bajoli. Yeah. So you. Tell me what you do. You get free reign on this thing. Go nuts.
Yeah, I think this huge cat is like he's coming under a tree, and Ulago spots a low-hanging tree branch, and he fires, and the branch for the most part disintegrates, and there's like cinders and embers, and it's very loud.
The noise is what's most shocking.
Yeah,
this loud blast, and the cat sort of like panics, and what you notice is that this cat seems very, I mean, you're a lucky man. This cat seems very, very protective of its cubs, and immediately runs to the cave and posts up like out front, ready to throw down with whatever that noise was, leaving its prey behind underneath the tree.
Okay. Alago's still waiting. He's like, come on, just give up on it. Give up on it.
It stays there at the entrance of the cave, staring out into just like everywhere on this plains, like its eyes darting everywhere. And for a brief moment it stops and is looking at something in the distance.
I'm gonna try and shoot like the rocks around the cave.
Yeah. Give me another shot. Yeah. You nail it. You shoot some rocks. What's your objective here? What are you trying to do?
Just start it again. Get them to just leave that prey. Maybe run or go deeper into the cave.
This time, as you do it, unlike the first time when it panicked and ran to the cave, it does not panic and run now. It continues to guard the cave. But again, its focus is on something else.
How far away is it from the rabbit?
I would say that for you, like if you were to go from you to the cave, it might take 30 seconds to do that. For this, I have no idea. Much faster, obviously.
All right, if it's distracted, I'm gonna attempt to stealth and grab this prey.
Sure. Yeah, give me a stealth roll.
I'm gonna use the light side too.
Okay. Let me upgrade you. Holy shit. All right, tell me how you whatever, go to town. Have fun.
He holsters his rifle and he crouches low and he slowly goes through the grass, and this is something like he's done a lot. You can tell he spent some time in the Outer Rim, more or less like living in villages and kind of nomadic. And he would hunt regularly, and that was why he knew that something would bring food for its babies, and he would be able to get it. And he's very fortunate because this cat is distracted by something else that he sneaks over, and he just, slings the rabbit over his shoulder. I'm assuming it's a very large rabbit over his shoulder, and just starts making his way back to the ridge, and he goes unnoticed.
Yeah, you go completely unnoticed. Again, almost without any. This thing is not focused. It's like staring at something in the distance. Like it's focused on something else completely, and it is just like almost hypnotized by it.
Can I look and see what it's hypnotized by, or attempt to?
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
Follow
you
its
got a
plan.
triumph. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Sure, let's make that the triumph then.
Yeah.
I
You
follow
look-
its gaze and see
Yeah,
what it sees.
As you follow its gaze, standing there in the spot where this cat is looking, which is sort of like just beyond the ridgeway, you see a figure all in white, and for the first time, it has an actual, like, it looks like a thing. It looks like a person, and the person it looks like is your friend Karn. And that is where we're going to end for today.
Oh.
Shit.
All
okay.
right.
All right.
Well, that is it for us. Thank you all for tuning in for another fun episode. But before we get out of here, let's go around this screen here and find out what everyone is up to. Strippin, what are you doing this week, dude?
Man, I've been no life in Final Fantasy. I'm currently working my way through hard mode, which is very hard, but I'll probably be at that for the rest of the week, I imagine. So feel free to come on by if you want to see a struggling man playing a fantastic
What's the
game.
difference between, because I imagine when I first started, I was like, oh, there's a hard mode, I might as well, but it wasn't available. So what is the hard mode?
So it's unlocked when you beat the game, and basically like everything hits much harder. There's more health, but also items are completely disabled always. So you can't use items outside of combat or inside of combat, and the benches don't give you MP back, so you have really no way to get MP back at all.
How is it a new game plus at least?
Yeah, so all your stuff carries over, and you get a chapter select, so you can pick what you want to play.
All right, fantastic.
There's a bunch of
I
new
was about to
content
say,
as well. So there's a bunch
Cool.
of new content and pickups and fights.
Neat.
That's what I'm
Alright,
struggling
one day
through right
when
now.
I grow balls, I might decide to play that. Anna, what are you doing this week?
Monday, hopefully a stream. Tuesday, we have Heroes of Thylea, which is 5e D&D based on Greek mythology on Dark Galaxies Gaming. Wednesday, I'll be on Penny Arcade for C Team, which is also 5e D&D. Thursday, we'll be back with this show. And Friday, I don't know.
Living that wild Friday life. Who knows what
Who
Friday
knows?
brings?
Anything could happen on Friday.
Yeah, I believe the legend is down on Friday. So
What goes
eat your
down on
cereal. It goes down on
Oh.
Friday.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it's Friday. I
Cereal,
believe
all that.
is the phrase. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bike man, what's going on with you?
What's up? I'm probably playing some more Last Oasis. Kind of addicted to it.
That's
Check out that
before the
game at
show
all?
started. Yeah, before the show started. That's all a certain someone in this group was talking
It's
about.
fun.
No names, but
It's probably the best survival game that's come
It
out
was
in a
me.
while that's not completely jank.
damn.
Have you seen it at
Damn.
all? Get big spider.
No, I
walkers?
haven't
It's
seen
so
any of it.
cool. Yeah, it reminds me of that Peter Jackson movie that came out recently where the cities like are on like wheels everywhere. Kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Oh, yeah, that
Big
movie did come
walkers
out.
and Mad Max people everywhere.
I live vicariously. Survival games are kind of like how I see what is that game that's like spreadsheets? You
Eve
know,
Online.
Eve survival games are how I see. I love to watch highlights. I don't want to play it, but I like to watch like when all those create like Arc. When
Oh, yeah.
Strippin did a bunch of like Arc videos, I would just tune in and watch the video VODs of them just to see like the best of moments and be like, that looks like a ton of fun. And then I
Yeah.
would never play because I don't want to
Oh,
like
yeah.
in between that ton of fun, I'm like, man,
Yeah.
they're probably grinding shit.
The-
like doing
The best stuff is like 9 hours of shit grinding, and then I put like the 5 minutes of goodness in a video.
Yes.
And you're
And
like,
I love
"Wow, this
that.
game
That's
looks like
great.
so much fun. And then you play it and you're like, oh,
Mhm.
that's Lost Oasis too, by the way. Yeah.
Poor Bike. Oh, Bike, I'm sorry.
He loves it. He loves it.
I love it.
Pocket, what are you up to?
Oh, you know, I have a new friend. Feels good, man. I actually have been working on crafting again. It's been like 6 months since I last worked on it, and I decided to get back into starting some cosplay. So on my stream, I've been streaming that, and I did some Animal Crossing things for a photo shoot, and I'm gonna do Harley Quinn next, and then I'm starting the Mandalorian armor.
Cool.
I'm
Damn.
excited.
Mando. Yeah, you have plenty of time to finish it. One single tier. That whole
That's kinda
series,
how
my
I
heart
kinda
breaks.
figured. I'll have it done by the time the show like starts back up, hopefully. Get
Then you
them
can just
photos
watch
out
every
before.
episode in it and feel like you're there. You can just sit
Yeah.
down in your Mandalorian armor, like, take me away.
Actually, I also commissioned someone to make a Baby Yoda, and so it's being shipped right now. And so I'm gonna sit there with my
That's
Baby
amazing.
Yoda as well.
If anyone needs a Baby Yoda, it is the person who every day would tweet like 85 Baby Yoda jokes. So
Who was
you
that?
deserve it. You've earned
Who
this.
was it?
You
Was
put in
that
the
me?
work. Yeah. You put in the work.
It's true.
All right. Well, that's it for us. If you want to see a guy play through Final Fantasy VII much slower than Sam, I'm your dude. Check it
but
on the channel.
You got the passion, brother. It's a good watch. I've been watching you.
But that's all I'm doing too, so screw it. Thank you all so much. Be good. Have a good week. We will see you guys Thursday, so we'll be back sooner than later. And hey, remember, keep your droids close and your friends closer.
Is what?
And if your droids are your friends, you decide.
Yeah, then you can make the choice. All right, that's it for us.
No,
Bye,
no.
everybody.
What would PR3 do? That's what you need to remember. Ask
Nothing
yourself.
is the answer. Shut down. Break.
Opening boxes proved to be too much for me.
Wrap this up, JP. We're going.
You know, where's the payoff? Bring the strippers and booze! We do occasionally talk about video games. Bring the strippers and booze! Not enough time for video games. Bring the strippers and booze!
Oh, thank God, I don't need pants now.
Hey, JC! What are you doing? Not much. Making a fortune.
Yeah, now sing music.
Bring the strippers and booze! I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. You got